Alright guys, some new breaking news just came out in the banking space, in the crypto space, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty crazy and I thought I should quickly update you guys as a new joint statement by the Department of the Treasury, Federal Reserve, and FDIC just came out where they basically said that they're shutting down the friendly crypto bank. What's the name? Well, take a look at my Twitter. I just posted it over on here. Recommend you guys to follow me. It is Signature Bank. There's good parts and bad parts. Good part is, well, all the depositors will be made whole. Bad part is it's closed down. Anyway, let's quickly read this statement. And this is the first time in years that I'm posting 2 videos in the span of an hour, but that's because this news just hit the spot. It just came out and I don't want to wait on this important stuff. So I'm getting it out as soon as possible. The following statements were released by Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen, Federal Reserve Board Chair Powell, and FDIC Chairman Martin Grönberg. Today, we are taking decisive actions to protect the U.S. economy by strengthening public confidence in our banking system. This step will ensure that the U.S. banking system continues to perform its vital roles of protecting deposits and providing access to credit to households and businesses in a manner that promotes strong and sustainable economic growth. After receiving a recommendation from the board of the FDIC and the Federal Reserve and consulting with the President, Secretary Yellen approved actions enabling the FDIC to complete its resolution of Silicon Valley Bank, Santa Clara, California, in a manner that fully protects all depositors. Depositors will have access to all of their money starting Monday, March 13th. No losses associated with the resolution of Silicon Valley Bank will be borne by the taxpayer. We're also announcing a similar systemic risk exception for Signature Bank, New York. And I should quickly come in and say, that's why I'm saying this is good and bad. The good part is things are getting fixed in a nice manner. No losses to the taxpayer, even though that's not completely true. Because at the end of the day, if the money comes from somewhere, you're paying for it. But the more important question that follows up here is what happens next. Because they're making it seem like such a good deal. Like, hey, there's not really that big of a problem. We're going to fix it all. But, well, to kind of not get more collapsing, we're taking some preventative measures with Signature Bank, which was closed today by its state chartering authority. All depositors for this institution will be made whole. As with the resolution of Silicon Valley Bank, no losses will be borne by the taxpayer. Shareholders and certain unsecured debt holders will not be protected. Senior management has also been removed. Any losses to the Deposit Insurance Fund to support uninsured depositors will be recovered by a special assessment on banks as required by law. And finally, the Federal Reserve Board on Sunday announced it will make available additional funding to eligible depository institutions to help assure banks have the ability to meet their needs for all the depositors. And the U.S. banking system remains resilient on a solid foundation, in large part due to reforms that were made after the financial crisis that ensured better safeguards for the banking industry. Those reforms, combined with today's actions, demonstrate our commitment to take the necessary steps to ensure that depositors' savings remain safe. In regards to Ripple, one thing has actually come to mind quite recently here over the last couple of minutes as I've been reading more and more on Twitter. That is actually an interesting one. Now, first of all, crypto markets are pumping right now as we speak, so you should kind of ignore a lot of what I said in the negative XRP video a little bit earlier. And it has to do with the fact that, well, like an hour after I made that video, all of a sudden this case was resolved where, again, like Watcher Guru here posts, US says all Silicon Valley Bank depositors will have access to all their money on Monday. But then afterwards, some negative news came out with the other bank, which kind of evens itself out. But I think this was more important, though, with the whole Circle situation. Anyway, from a different perspective, this really brings up a very important point of they had money now, Ripple, right, with SVB. But does that matter? Because, well, they're going to get access to their money so quickly. And I still don't fully understand exactly how or where. And you have to understand as well, even though now it's been quote-unquote saved, right, and everything has been fine, you have to understand the repercussions from this. people, even though this was not posted on mainstream media too much, because things didn't fully hit the fan just quite yet. I mean, if I've asked my friends, most people don't know, even though it was such a big deal. They've kept this on a low pit for a little bit until it was all confirmed, which was smart. But in theory, this is like real bank run material. The fact that it kind of just messed itself up all the way, got saved, but it messed itself up all the way. It might catch people the wrong way. Just the fact that it's like now starting, them already saying now that, to prevent, we're already starting to kind of, close a couple other things down here. It's kind of scary, because what if a couple of these others keep falling? Because they all think they're going to be saved anyway. Can they keep going on like this forever? And also, if you start thinking about it, what about the SVP CEO selling all his stock? Is anybody going to come back on that one? Again, the repercussions of all of this we'll see quite shortly. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, all this. I can go and spread more FUD, or we could just keep it for what it is right now. It's been saved. Let's see what happens soon. But this very important decision tomorrow has been made on Sunday already. For me, again, it is already Monday, as it's 3 a.m. right now. Let's just see what comes out of all this, and I'll talk to you guys later as we see more. I want to post this video as soon as possible, so that's about it.